time to think about the thing that you probably have the hardest time thinking about, and that is your strengths. Whenever I ask people what their strengths are, a lot of times they freeze up. They might stumble on those strengths and have trouble thinking about them. And sometimes that's because of the work environment they were in previously. Maybe you were in a toxic work environment, or your boss was really demeaning, and now it's hard to think of your strengths because of that experience. But I promise you have strengths. Why don't you think about your strengths in terms of what gives you energy when the day tends to pass faster? Those are typically the things that people are good at. Think back to past projects, tasks, projects in school, things like that, where the day just passed faster because you were really enthralled in what you were working on. Another thing you can think about in order to reflect on your strengths is, when do people come to you for advice or for support? Those are typically the things that you're good at as well. You'll also want to think about the strengths that you enjoy using the most. There's some strengths that we're good at, but they actually drain our energy. The example I'll use here is, say someone's a marketing director, and one of the things that they're really good at is organizing information and putting proposals together. But they actually don't enjoy that piece of their job as much, even though they're good at it. They much prefer the strategy portion of their job. So as you reflect on your strengths, you'll want to think about which strengths you want to continue to grow in your career. What are the strengths that you enjoy engaging in the most, that you want to continue to develop through the jobs that you take in the future? How would friends and family describe your strengths? If you were to ask them about your strengths, maybe even your soft skills like communication, attention to detail, etc., what would they say? If it's feeling really hard to think about your strengths, try not to dwell on it too much. You can take a free online assessment or look into the Gallup Strengths Finder, since that's one of the best known strengths assessments out there. And hiring managers tend to recognize the Gallup Strengths Finder in an interview if you're talking about it or if you put it in your LinkedIn profile. So that could be a resource, but if this is feeling really hard, you can come back to this later. This is something that I really enjoy helping people reflect on, and I can typically pick out their strengths by talking to them. So if you need that extra help, just let me know.